damn good at direction. I would never get wrong.
Don't worry, it's just me. So today we're going to talk about the machete, but let me change into something a little bit different first. Welcome to the Wandering Sword. Hope that last part wasn't too spooky for you. Before we get back to the episode of the day, I want to show you my new clothes. People were asking before what I was wearing in my earlier videos, in the red Gambeson. This is also Gambeson. This is a longer Gambeson. This is more of an African style Gambeson. They had more longer pleats to protect them from lower extremities. They didn't wear a whole lot of chain, they didn't wear a whole lot of plate, so most of the time their armor was most of the time quilted. So this is made by Quilted Armor. We'll put a link in the description below. They have some of the best Gambesons in the known world, used for many different venues of any kind of martial arts or any kind of European martial arts as well. I'm very happy. And this belt is made from Massimo, which I'll also put a link there before. But now, back to the show. So today we're talking about the machete, or some people would say, Jay and Trey would say, Machete. The machete is a weapon that's been used for a long time, but it's mostly been a tool used for cleaning brush. It's also for other cutting, other farming, many different things. People think about the machete in a lot of different slasher films as well. Most people think about maybe Jason Voorhees chasing down a whole lot of campgoers, and sadly they meet their demise because they didn't know how to defend themselves with other weapons. But then again, it's Jason Voorhees. Historically speaking, the machete is also very well known by the people of Haiti, or the Haitians. They had a revolt back in the slave rebellion in 1791. So in 1791, they fought their way to independence around in the early 1800s. I think it was 1804, and they actually won. But they didn't use a lot of different guns. They didn't use a lot of other different amazing weaponry. They used the machete. So they have this whole different kind of martial arts style, which is based upon machete. So it's machete fencing, or macheting different kind of style of ikata. People talk about with the machete, when we're using it for regular tools, you're always cutting at 45s, because if you cut in a flat, it doesn't most of the time go through the weapon, or go through whatever the target is. So you're always cutting down at a 45 angle, cutting down at 45. Now, when we use machete as a tool, most of the time, you don't want to cut across your body, you're cutting away from your body, so if it does hit and deflect, it's hit and deflecting and going down to the ground, opposed to if you're cutting at it and it comes and it goes down to your body. That's also another reason why we use armor. Now, in Haitian martial arts, you see them a lot of times either hand behind their back, or sometimes they keep the hand at their chest to keep their hand away as they're fighting. Just a basic drill is just cutting at a 45 and kind of almost a figure 8. So from the side, it also looks like this. Some people keep their hand back once again. You're cutting this way. Now, it doesn't have to be downward cut. You also think about upwards cuts. So upcuts, but you're still moving and keep it to the side. Now, that doesn't mean that you couldn't cut to the middle, cut to the middle, or cut down, or cut down. One more time, and go. So down, up, across, across, diagonal, diagonal, now diagonal up, diagonal up, diagonal up. 8 paths. So we're going to talk about a little bit more about the machete. We'll show some pictures and actually talk more about the history of the Haitian machete.
Slaves initiated the rebellion in 1791, and by 1803 they had succeeded in ending not just slavery, but French control over the colony. The Haitian Revolution, however, was much more complex, consisting of several revolutions going on simultaneously. These revolutions were influenced by the French Revolution of 1789, which would come to represent a new concept of human rights, universal citizenship, and participation in government. It was one of the largest and most successful slave rebellions in history.
Thanks for tuning in today. Once again, thanks to our patrons. Shout out to our top patrons, Cito Sama and Byron Swanson, Pathfinders of the Wandering Sword. And remember, if you like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe. Wander on.
Here